All right, so if we want to put a matrix in, this is kind of like the basic way to put a matrix into your calculator, okay? Any sort of matrix, it works. And I guess for you guys, I know like a lot of people sort of don't use their calculator very often, or they tell me that and say, I never use this calculator, okay? You need to use this calculator for matrices because a scientific calculator is not going to work, okay? You also need to use this calculator for matrices because the word questions are going to be really hard. And for you to have to go in and be like 5,000 times 5 plus 2,352 times plus times 3 plus something for that one row, which instead you could just put a matrix in and write this matrix times this matrix and get all your answers, is actually really silly. It's wasting your time. You're going to get answers wrong, even though you actually understand the process, because we expect you, when we give you worded questions, that you're going to be using your calculator. And it's really, really easy. Okay, so what we do, so you should have written those notes down. So can you now try on your calculator? We're going to try and do the matrix 3, 2, 1, 4. And I'm going to show you a couple of different methods. Okay, so can you click on menu? So you need a new calculator page. Add calculator. Mine's been a bit funny today, I'm sorry. It's a bit slow. I think it's because of the connecting to the wireless as well. So new calculator. Now, I want you guys to get into the habit of if you get stuck. So I'm going to give you a quicker way to do this in a second. But if you ever get stuck on this calculator and you don't get it and you go, I've got to solve, I've got to do this, I've got to do this, and I've got no idea what I'm doing, what's the first button you should always press? Menu. And have a look at it. So we look at this and we're like, okay, menu, what questions am I doing? Am I doing a finance question? Am I doing an algebra question? Am I doing a matrix question? What question am I doing? Matrix. And so I go, okay, cool, let's have a look. So then I go, matrix. Okay, what do I need to do? I need to create a matrix. So I go create, and then I want to make a matrix. And there's a few different types which we're going to look at later on as well. So zero matrix, identity matrix, etc. But I'm going to make a matrix. And how many rows and columns are there? 2 by 2, and I press OK. And so then I can just put the numbers in. What numbers did I say? 3, 2, 1, 4. Oh. 3, 2, 1, 4, and that's my matrix. You got your class, Pat? Okay. Remind me tomorrow Wednesday tomorrow to go through it Wednesday. Everyone good with that? Yeah? Okay, so I can just press enter, or actually, why don't we try and square that? So what do you think I do? Just to the power 2, yeah? Power 2, and I can find out what that answer is. Okay, so once I've got that in there, I can square it, I can times it by 3, I can do whatever, all the different things we've learnt about. I can add another matrix to it. Everyone good? Now, there's an easier way. The reason why I showed you that way first is because I want you to get used to, if you get stuck, that you know how to get to everything. But there's a quicker way, and it's that favourite button I've talked to you about with fractions and all that sort of thing. See that button there? Can you guys see it? The one next to the 9? Yeah? So if we use that button, it's much better. Well, it's much quicker. So it's the button which has, I just need to be able to see it properly. It looks like, thank you. It looks like this. When you press that button, it gives you all those options. All those options. Can you guys see them? Yeah? So which ones look like matrices? There's 4 of them, hey? There's a square matrix. There's a, what's this one called? Row matrix. There's a column matrix. And then there's a different one. I've just seemed to have started a row matrix. Actually, I want to try something out anyway. Let's see. Oh, no. No, it doesn't work. It doesn't work the way I want it to. Okay. So you can make a square matrix You can make a row matrix, you can make a column matrix. Or if you press that button which has the 3 by 3, that one, it just brings up that exact same menu which you had before when you went menu 711. So it brings up the menu to work out any sort of matrix as you go. As I said, sorry, my calculator is very slow today. Can you guys try and click on that? So click on the 3 by 3 matrix picture. And then you pick the 2 by 2 one. But a 2 by 2 one's already there. So you can actually just go square matrix, done. Okay, so I could put in a 3 by 3, I could put in a 4 by 4, I could put in a 3 by 2, whatever I want to. All right. Is everyone okay about being able to input a matrix into your calculator? Yes? All right, so this time I'm going to do another one. Still going to be the same. Oh, sorry, no, it's not. Oh. Square matrix, so I'm just going to click straight into that and hopefully it'll come up in a second. And can you just put in the 3, 2, 1, 4 again for me? But don't press enter. So make a matrix which is 3, 2, 1, 4 and don't press enter. Now, what do we label matrices as? How do we label them? A letter, okay? What sort of letter? A capital letter. You know how we label them as a capital letter? And you know how in a lot of questions we give you like A equals this matrix, B equals this matrix, C equals this matrix, D equals this matrix, and then you have to do all these different things with all the different letters, and A might come up 4 times. What we want is for you to not have to write that matrix every time, not have to go through that process of having to draw it, but we use it as a letter because that's how we actually use it in real life. So I'm going to have to be able to store this as a letter. And the way which I do that, can you guys try this, is you go control var, and you'll notice above the var in blue it says store, it says STO, it says store. So we go control var, and it puts this little arrow in, and it sort of pretty much says, we're going to use this in year 12 definitely. And what it's saying is, it's saying that little arrow is going, label this matrix as something. And then whenever you use that letter, this matrix is going to come up. Okay, so what are we going to label it as? A, okay? So all I do is I go arrow, A, and then I press enter. And now anytime I put in A, it's going to come up as that matrix. So if I want to multiply it by 3, I can just write 3A. And it's still there. Okay, if I want to go A squared, I can write A squared. If I want to go A times B, once I've put in B. So in those questions where you get lots of different ones, you can actually go, this equals A, this equals B, this equals C, and then you can just start going A plus B, C plus D, etc. Okay, so then if you can either redo it. I'm not this isn't my strength with that. However, what I'll do is open a whole new, what I do is I open a whole new document and then start again for the next lot of questions, because pretty much as soon as you've got, as long as you've got this calculator page open, and within this document, A is always going to be that. Okay, so I think the easiest way is to go new document. Yes. Pardon? The equal sign or the arrow? So control var. Control var. Now that's really important for you to know, because otherwise you're going to be wasting a whole heap of your time trying to bring up, especially when it's like a 5 by 3 matrix and then you have to do a whole heap of things to it. Easier just to go, I'm going to make that B and just go B times A or whatever it is. Can you guys practice that, please? Yeah? All right, could you write that down into here? So your next step would be to input your elements, to store it as a pronumeral, control var, which brings up an arrow or the store button, and label it, and then you can use it in your calculations. So they're your sort of steps. That's pretty much it for using your calculators for now. We'll use them a bit more prior to your investigation, but we're going to be practicing today. Be good if I'd spelt numeral right.